Welcome to Timeline Healing. What is timeline healing? Timeline healing is a powerful form of therapy that was brought to be by my spirit guides, the Arcturians. And you're going to get to hear from the Arcturians in just a minute as they describe this powerful, revolutionary new form of therapy. So let's introduce timeline healing by saying that it combines elements of past life regression, psychotherapy, hypnotherapy, creative visualization, guided meditation, and many other disciplines into a unique package designed to heal traumas not only from early childhood in this lifetime, but also from past lifetimes. So, how timeline healing works is that you go back in time and you give your past self a healing. You enter into the experience at a point where there was trauma or negative programming that took place. Usually when you were a little child, or perhaps a traumatic moment in a past life where the imprints of trauma came into what we call the 6 lower bodies: the physical, emotional, mental, astral, etheric, and causal bodies. You can read about these 6 lower bodies in my various publications, including Soul Integration. So we have these 6 parts of ourselves that tend to go out of balance from time to time. And oftentimes many of our illnesses, many of our psychological problems exist on multiple levels of our being. One or more of these 6 levels goes out of balance, often due to a trauma that occurred in early childhood or in a past lifetime. So timeline healing is a structured meditation that goes back to the root cause of the problem and gives a healing to the past self that received the trauma or negative programming. That's the general description of timeline healing. What are some of the benefits of timeline healing? Well, many clients have reported that in just one session or a few sessions, they have received more healing than through, in some cases, years of psychotherapy. We're not saying psychotherapy doesn't work or that it's not appropriate for many clients. We're simply saying that timeline healing seems to, in many cases, create faster healing, more deep and complete healing. It goes deeper into the core issues of each soul. Now I'd like the Arcturians to give us a little bit of a overview of timeline healing. And so I'm going to invite them to actually come through me and speak. This is conscious channeling. I don't go into a deep trance. So I will be aware of everything the Arcturians are saying. So here are the Arcturians to talk about timeline healing. Greetings, dear ones. We are the Arcturians. We are pleased to present this very short segment about timeline healing. There is a little bit of science behind this technique, and we do not intend to bore you with a lot of mathematics or abstract ideas, but we want to let you know that this is a scientifically backed healing method. And it is based on a couple of very well-known principles of quantum physics: the uncertainty principle and the non-locality principle. we're going to briefly outline the non-locality principle for you. One of the derivatives of that principle suggests that all time is happening now. This means your past, present, and future are happening right now. In fact, now is the only time there is. Think about it. Whenever you think about the past or the future, when are you thinking about it? Now. It is always now. There has never been a moment in linear time when it has not been now. This channel frequently will say, well, show me the past and the future. Where are they? Are they in the brain? Are they in the body? Are they somewhere out in the world? Where are the past and the future? They are ideas put forth by the conscious mind. Of course, your society lives in what you call linear time, where you're measuring the movement of the earth around the sun, or the rotation of the earth about its axis, or the cycles of the moon, or something like that, and you call that linear time. It is the measurement of relative motion between two or more objects. So, what does all this have to do with the powerful therapy called timeline healing? Everything. Because your past is accessible now. In fact, your past is happening right now. Part of you is shaking your head thinking, what? The past is happening right now? From a higher perspective, that is absolutely correct. And if that is so, then the traumas you have experienced in the past are happening now, and they can receive a healing right now. So you can go back into your past and give a healing to your past self. It not only affects your past self, it affects all of your other selves, both directions in time. In other words, if you went back 10 years and changed something about your past, it would show up in your past 20 years ago, or 30, or 200, or 500 years ago. It does not mean you have to go back to the most ancient trauma and then work your way forward. It, of course, works that way, but it works in reverse. Your ancient self receives benefit from a healing that occurred in your more recent self. Now, we could spend a lot of time going into these conundrums and paradoxes and unusual cases, but that's not the purpose of this video. This video is just to give you an idea of what is possible. So, for example, you can go back to when you were 5 years old, when you experienced a trauma, and you can give your 5-year-old a healing for that trauma. What actually happens is when you do that, you create a new past for yourself, one that includes the healing. So now whenever you think about what your life was like when you were 5 years old, you remember the beautiful healing you received. Now, there's a lot more to it than that. There's a certain structure that timeline healers follow when working with clients. And we offer trainings. We just finished 2 very powerful trainings in Romania. We do trainings around the world. We will be doing trainings next year when we return here. And you can find out more about this. There will be numbers to contact, people to contact to find out when the next training will be happening in your area. We have hundreds of graduates around the world who are very happy that they took the time to learn this technique. You may be able to receive a healing from one of our practitioners. There will be ways to get in touch with our practitioners. Plus, we have a wonderful time in the trainings. It's a time to bond with other souls. We really believe that coming together on our spiritual journey is so important. So we hope to have you as a member of our Timeline Healing family very soon in the future. So, we are the Arcturians. On behalf of this channel, many blessings to you. So, you might have noticed that that was my higher self working with the Arcturians. It's a collaborative effort. We work together to produce these trainings. And time is such a wonderful mystery. I'm writing a book on the nature of time, and this book will be available early next year. It's a fascinating subject. I feel very privileged to be asked by the Arcturians and the founders and the other spirit guides I work with to be a part of this wonderful, fascinating topic. So thank you for listening, and good evening.